Hey Legion, please tell me why Dex is spoiling your take on this, even though.
Thanks, Dex.
What the
it's
heck?
It's really just a matter of damage.
Yeah. I did say that myself too.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is why it sucks, because now I know your take and your point of your take because somebody spoiled it.
Yeah, thanks, Dex. And I wasn't saying much, like, dramatically. I'm just saying, if I were given the choice, like in Summoner Duels, for example, between using Xander or Dimitri, even though Dimitri doesn't have no follow-up or damage reduction, I'm still gonna want him because he actually is a threat. Right. You cannot tank him, realistically.
Okay, so, to put it into perspective, I understand what you're saying, and I fully believe in it as well.
Yep.
I think Xander is a definition of solid.
Yep.
You are not wanting for anything. He literally has everything.
Yep.
Kanto, damage reduction, stat augmentation,
no follow-up.
Like significant stat augmentation, might I ask. Heavy blade, well, not heavy blade, like special fighter-ish, because it's both hits. He doesn't have the guard function, but he has both hits getting him faster cooldown. Now follow-up, slaying, and 7 HP healing. Literally everything that you can ask for on a hero, he has.
He's the definition of an all-rounder and a good all-rounder. There are all-rounders that suck.
Basically, I'd want him to have guard, ideally, in his weapon or his beast skill, but considering he can't, I'd say just give him attack smoke 4 and he's pretty good.
Yeah, honestly, it's not a huge deal to not have guard at the end of the day. There's enough sources of it.
Okay, fine. You got me there. He's missing guard, but that's the only thing. I'm gonna be clear, like, sure. Because the reason why I pointed out, okay, this is really interesting because we faulted Nana because it felt like all she was meant to do is just break stuff, which is great. That's definitely something you to be good at and to be good.
Absolutely terrifying at it.
Right. And we faulted Sheeta. Actually, I didn't fault Sheeta. What was it?
Most people fault Sheeta. Because she can't really do her job that well.
But she is dual effective. She does have a really unique trait of attacking first, and she can set up attacking first once she gets any battle in.
Yep.
So that's interesting. And she's not perfect because we noted, hey, she's lacking slaying. If she had that, she would perform way better.
Yeah, and if her weapon wasn't, I mean, I guess just armor cav effective, like if it went back to the Sword Axe Lance armor thing, bow, that probably would have been better. And of course, the fact that her weapon is just bonus doubler in reverse. Nothing fancy. Those are the big things.
Sheppy Shep, thank you for follow. Okay. But you guys realize how ridiculous this is, right? Like, we're faulting all these characters despite the fact that they're so solid in their respective roles. Now, none of them are perfect. Like, Nana, if you attack into Nana, well, people could disagree if they want, but I've never had issue killing a Nana if I get to hit her, you know?
Oh, if you can hit a Nana, she is literally toast. There is no bulk in her kit. Her weapon doesn't give bulk, her no damage reduction, her bulk is naturally pretty mediocre. She is dead to a stiff breeze.
Right. And Sheeta, I mean, as mentioned, has her own flaws. Xander has the least amount of flaws, but he's not, like, great at anything. Now, to be clear,
overwhelming.
Not overwhelming. Now, to be clear, he is still an excellent Gale Forcer. That is still among the best Gale. He's among the best Gale Forcers in the entire game, owing to the fact that his null follow-up as a cav, that's not really a thing.
No. Let alone the fact that it's a buff. Granted, it's not the easiest buff, but it's a buff.
Well, if you're setting it up, I don't think it's that hard to pull it off.
Oh, yeah. It's just, it's not... There are other... I think like 1 or 2 other calves that just have it straight up, but still, it's a cool different take.
Sure. Okay, he's max scoring. He's gonna score as highly as Nana, highly as Sheeta, which is awesome. Which makes a Gale Forcer with Kanto and like that heavy blade built into her. Well, special fighter-ish. I don't even know what proper terminology is anymore. But the point is, he basically has guaranteed Gale Forces, so he helps your arena runs be a lot easier. So in terms of arena value, I think that's a 10 out of 10. I don't really think you would want anything more for arena.
No, honestly. If I were to ever pick an arena unit, Xander would probably be one of my first options. He's just super consistent.
Yeah, if I didn't have Eitri at least partially merged, I'd definitely go for Xander.
Wait, who?
Huh?
Would you say you kind of cut off?
Oh, if I didn't have Eitri partially merged already, I would go for Xander
Eitri.
probably.
If I didn't have Byleth.
Actually,
Wait.
I probably wouldn't go for Xander just because the arena maps kind of screw cavalry over a lot.
I mean,
so
Wait,
yeah.
A
lot of
big of a deal.
maps. A lot of maps do have trenches and trees, which can be annoying. But I mean, on the other hand, Kanto is super valuable.
I
That
actually
extra
really
pressure
like
range is
that.
super valuable.
I like the trenches and stuff, even though I run a Corrin myself. And the reality is, I don't want the full cap team to just like suffocate and kill me on turn 1. Which, by the way, that
of
has
course.
happened.
Yep.
it's just a shame that
sucks.
melee cavaliers get screwed over the most by it, because at least ranged cavaliers can of course attack over them.
Yeah, it's a drawback, but it's not like it should not be something that completely dissuades you from building the legendary hero just from terrain.
Yep. All right. Anyways, but going to his art real quick. I love that look. It really looks
Yep.
like Garen improved.
Basically, Garen 2.
His
Yeah.
hair is definitely a little different than usual because of the new crown that he has.
Oh yeah. No, I
Oh.
definitely appreciate. Hmm?
It's Mr. Spoiler himself. What's up?
Oh no, I can spoil opinions now. Now we're not even spoiling stories; we're spoiling opinions.
I'm
My
genuinely
apologies.
confused why you did that, but all right.
Because I didn't know if Legion was gonna even come on tonight. So,
Okay. Did
and I didn't know
ask him?
how long it would be. No, I didn't ask him, but
Okay.
that's beside the point. I won't do that anymore on nights where we normally are talking. But
I was so confused why you went out of your way to do that. I was like, okay.
well, because it was interesting. I was very interested in that opinion. I didn't entirely disagree. I was just
Okay, sure. Anyways, I really like it because it really reminds me of Garen, and that should be the case considering he's now king.
Basically, he is just Garen.
right. Aaron still has a chance of getting regular bulwark in, but
Yeah, given that they gave it an epithet.
And I bet
I'm
that
hoping
would have guard in it like regular Garen.
maybe.
one day we'll get him. Following Garen, hoping for it. But until then, I guess now it's Xander's turn to wear the giant fluffy cape.
Yes.
Yes, and he looks a little less decrepit than his old man.
Oh
And
yeah.
a little
also-
more gallant than Camilla, who wore it first.
I wonder if the legendary map they're gonna do is the one where he commits the murder of his sibling.
Oh god.
Oh
yeah, because that
Near,
map...
like, trapped in an
CPU.
arena.
Yeah, we actually don't have that map in this. We only have the one that Ryoma
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I forgot what I was saying. Great.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Pennicor's doing a great job. He's
Yep.
returning as the artist of Xander.
He did Summer Xander as well.
Yeah.
Forgot that
And
was
I'm-
a thing.
The cipher art. That's what I remember him from.
Oh yeah, right.
Mhm.
Also forgot that. It's been so long since Xander has gotten anything aside from the pirate ult where he was a backpack. So I kind of forgot.
That was that
everything.
also Penacor?
Might have been. I think it was.
I think it was.
A lot of
yeah.
Xander has been Penacor. His base art was Shigeki, so like the book
Yeah,
2
because that was
artist.
story art Xander.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one
Alright.
might have been Penacor.
Anyways, I'm really interested in why IS has really gotten onto the. All of a sudden, Axe Cavs have gotten like virtually every month, or even multiple heroes a month now. Wow, literally multiple. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Xander and Dimitri came out this month. What the heck?
I think they want to saturate that 5-star lock pool.
Yeah, I guess they're aiming to actually give Axe Cavs like a good selection now.
Because Lance calves are more than satisfied. Sword calves are definitely decently up there. Axe calves were, I mean, literally Walhart was one of the best axe calves. So that should say enough.
Yep. All right. So I think I got all your opinions on him. Basically, sum it up. Extremely solid. Not necessarily necessary because he doesn't have a super niche. I mean, Gale Forcing is a pretty decent niche, but it's year 5. We have plenty of Gale
Literally,
Forcings.
we got Gustav last month. Granted, no speed, but Gustav also has slaying cooldown acceleration per hit. Just saying.
Yep. So
Which-
that.
for the record, I definitely think of the 4 axe calves that have been released, Xander is easily number 2, and poor Roy is looking less and less necessary by the day.
Yeah.
I think,
You know,
well, between Roy and Gustav, I guess they're 3 and 4, somewhere around there.
I'd probably say Roy's better than Gustav, but that's it.
I would say a little bit, yeah.
Okay, well, the entire thing I was going to point out was, if Dimitri didn't have Kanto, I would actually put Xander over him, because he'd be fully committed to battle. But because Dimitri does, that's the only thing. So he has higher damage dealing,
By a lot.
higher damage dealing by a lot, and he's a lot more detrimental to the enemy team after he deals the damage, thanks to Atrocity's debuffs. So
Yep.
yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. There's no way Xander can keep up with that. And
No,
so,
and not to mention the fact that it's a brave hit. Getting hit by effectively 50% of your attack stat just for free. Not a lot of units can actually tank that.
yeah. But then again, Xander is much better defensively. Dimitri's not going to offer much in counterattacks. Well, he actually has pretty good speed and pretty good defense, so it's not a free kill on him. But
No, and he does get plus $5 stats through his axe, at least, instead of just attack speed 6.
And he can brave on enemy phase.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's got some defensive niche, but it's definitely not having all damage and no follow-up, which is the one thing that some people will bemoan. No follow-up.
Xander's a very solid mixed phase cap if you build him that way.
Oh, he's already built that way.
Well, yeah, I mean, his base kit does that.
so how would you rate him out of 10?
Probably
8 to 8.5.
I'd say like 8.5.
8.5 to 9, honestly.
I'm surprised I'm on the higher end. I give him a 9 out of 10.
I
because he
can't
lacks the
give-
edge.
Well, if we were on the higher end of that, we'd be giving him like 9.5 or 10. So
Wait,
If
what?
he had guard, I'd give him a 9, but he doesn't.
Nah, it doesn't bother me.
I don't think it's too big a loss.
I'm only giving him like an 8.5-ish, just because I know I will not be scared of him. And that's the only
Wait,
thing.
what?
Otherwise, I'd probably
What do you
push him
expect his
higher.
attack to be?
Not enough to to actually cause a serious scare for a tank.
Yeah, I don't think Xander's gonna kill that many things like consistently. Well, anything that's like supposed to be tanky, but I think
I mean,
against the
I think
average
his
things
base
to do
attack
alright.
is going to be quite good, though. I can see him having like 40 attack.
Yeah, if not higher.
Well,
I think he'll
40
definitely get
attack.
fine.
Well, it's way higher than that. I, think
I
it's at
can't
least
say
42.
that because it's his
It might
defense
be-
that's
it
going
might
to
be
be a
40.
question.
Yeah,
If he has
it's-
good defense, his attack's going to take the cut.
I don't think he's going to have
any.
any. I don't think he's going to have any less than 40 attack, but I don't think he's going to have much more either.
Yeah,
I expect him to have awful res, but
yeah, his res will be terrible, but since it is Xander and he is getting a speed stat out of this, he's going to have some defense.
I'm sure some
still.
people would
And he
not
will
defend
have-
her,
he will get
but for
10
being
res out
late
of his
in
weapon effectively
expectations in
anyway, so.
2022, I feel like he got done a bit dirty.
wait, 30? What? What
I don't
more could he
think
have
What does
done?
Xander need? What could he have done realistically? I mean,
only
yeah,
two
he's the
things.
safest. He's the safest thing that has come out in a while, but
Yeah,
not
they
everything needs
literally-
to push everything.
This Xander literally checked off every box. That's what he did. The only thing he lacks is distant counter, because we kind of expect that from Xander thanks to his base form, which wasn't going to
Yeah.
happen. Not that it really even mattered. And guard, as Evan cannot stop mentioning. So that was it.
He needs it.
Whatever you say. Listen, okay. Guard, yes, that would have been nice. Okay, cool. But outside of that, he literally checked off every bookmark. It would have been nice if he had some extra damage built into him. But I feel like the
But
reason
not
they didn't do
everybody
that-
needs to be Nana or Erica.
right, because Gustav doesn't have extra damage built in him, right?
No.
No.
Right, but he's a super min-maxed cav, and that's why we let it go, because he's hard to kill. Whereas Xander's, he's missing that res most likely, but he's gonna have that Gale Force function. So you have trade-offs is the point. And Dimitri and Roy, they just make things explode. So that was the point.
Yeah, basically. Honestly, I'd rather have Xander take up more of the tankier role anyways. First of all, Xander kind of seemed like he would always be that way. I just prefer Xander more so leans into tank than trying to be another tank buster, axe cav, or cav in general, because
Yeah, that would
that
be
class
terrible
is
for
getting
Dimitri, by
saturated.
the way. Dimitri hasn't even been here for 10 days. I think it's nearing 10 days, but he hasn't
Yeah.
even been here for 10 days, and you're like, You know what? Direct competition, speedy cab with tons of damage and Kanto.
Yeah, we do not need every single cavalry doing that, honestly.
Yep.
And I kind of like the parallels he's drawing with Ryoma anyways, so I will take that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna be in some situations he'll be able to kill Ryoma, assuming it's like a Xander that's been speed invested.
It is interesting when you look at the two. Ryoma gets no follow-up damage reduction speed base with 7 true damage on hit, plus 4 all stats DC. Xander gets Kanto over Ryoma, healing instead of true damage, more stats because his Beast gives them, of course. Still keeps no follow-up, but then also gets cooldown acceleration, slaying, no DC, but Kanto.
You said, I remember. Did you just say Kanto Ryoma in the middle of that sentence?
No, I meant to say Kanto and Xander,
Oh,
which Ryoma does not get.
I thought you meant to say Kanto Rem and said Kanto Ryoma. That would have been funny. But...
Oops. But yeah, Xander's definitely got parallels, but he is more loaded than Ryoma.
Yeah.
You really wanna
Ryoma
go
would be
to
one of
that?
the first remixes. It's hurt him a bit.
I feel really bad for Ryoma. Actually, not really. I don't really care about
Well,
Ryoma.
yeah, but
I don't feel
well,
bad.
he's still good. It's just I
He
don't
was
know,
the first
he's-
legendary I consider fraudulent when he got released.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't remember. I don't know if Legion remembers, but like back then,
Yeah,
I
it
was
was-
like, why is he a legendary?
Ryoma was a stretch legendary before those were supposed to be a thing.
Yeah. Because okay.
Now it makes
but
sense.
when he released, and we were like, wow, this is really weird. What the heck are we supposed to do with Bushido? And then we're like, wait a second. Fire sweep sword. So he stopped using Raijinto as a result. That's how
Literally, we
desperate
got
we were
rid
to
of
try
his
to make
sword.
it work.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was very, very weird back when Ryoma came out. And again, there were many legendary candidates that happened after Ryoma. And while now it would make sense for him to come out, why then?
It makes
come out
it makes
then.
sense now in year 5 because they're running out of heroes to make legendaries, right? So
Yeah, exactly. Ryoma just definitely jumped the gun.
yep. Which, by the way, I love this because there's no chance of Ryoma being better than Xander. Ryoma's
Nope.
just
I mean, he's fine. Ryoma's fine. Just not Xander. Like,
Yeah.
Xander's definitely better by a considerable amount.
And Ryoma really doesn't have a chance of getting better.
No,
Unlike, some other legendaries.
distant counter refines definitely limit potential, to say the least.
well, he had a fraudulent perf. Yeah, it was just Raijinto.
Yeah, he literally just got Raijinto again, whereas at least Xander got his father's axe. I'm sure if they went back, they probably would have given Ryoma like the Gakure blade, the 2 swords that he would have been wielding at his sides in Legendary Yard,
yes.
but whatever.
I wonder if I guess they could make Swordmaster Takumi. He has a unique motto on Fates for Swordmaster after his dad. So
Maybe. But either way, definitely content with the way Xander got treated. Feels like a.
I don't think
legendary.
anyone should be disappointed with this.
I mean, if you're an actual Ryoma fan, you should be celebrating the heck out of this. Because, like most people, they gave up.
Xander fan.
Yep. Why would you
Yeah.
keep believing in it? It's been so many years since Ryoma came out. We were
Literally
like,
became copium.
yeah, because when Ryoma first came out, we were like, any day now, it's gonna be Xander's turn, and then years passed.
And he did. So
it's
after
like the meme
Ryoma,
with
obviously,
the guy by the door, and he's like, I'm gonna prank him when he gets back, and that's like day 1, day 2, day 5, day 650.
Yep.
so Ryoma came out this month. That means Xander comes out next month, and then the Korins after that. Not only does it take this long for Xander, it took like an extra year or 2 just to get Korin, and only one of them.
Yep.
Like, Fate's legendaries are so spread out.
It doesn't even make
So
sense.
weird.
All right. So now we rated the king. Let's just sum it up with the banner itself, because this banner, I'm actually a bit
Pretty
irked. I
solid.
think I think it's solid because I think every color has 2 out of 3 that are good, at least
Yeah,
good.
same.
And blue has all good though.
All good.
Yeah, blue's
but
pretty
it's
much
iffy.
all good.
It's iffy because it depends if you really want these units. Like for me, I don't really care if I get Ullr at this point. And Ascendant Ishtar is really nice as well. That's a Floret at least. But if you already have her,
but there's still
you
all
really
good
need another
units
one.
in that case.
Yeah,
And
Like,
if you
is
really
what I
want
mean.
to plus-
Technically, there's certain use cases where, okay, like one person who already has Ishtar wouldn't want her, but the unit itself is still good to get.
Right. Okay. I can agree blue's the most solid. But for green, for example, Xander, I'm going to expect to be pretty amazing. Eitri is definitely amazing. Freya, I
Freya.
love her, but nobody even uses her anymore. I think Freya's like the fastest hero I've ever seen need a refine or a
See, the
remix.
problem is she can't win no matter what happens. First of all, it's encounter weapon. Second of all, she is a melee offensive mythic in a season where that literally can't happen. Like, you can't make that work.
Yes.
She's literally, her weapon is literally Karin Jimatsu Yenfei's weapon, except with no conditioning.
They
Yeah.
screwed
So
up
no
so
solo
badly.
condition.
She needed to have slaying. She could have become a Gale Forcer, and that would have been
It's
something.
not even that. She needed to not be in light season. She just needed to be a defense mythic. She could not work in light. Even if she had slaying, she still has the problem of having to run heavy blade and any guard effects.
It'd
causing
still be
problems.
easier though, like
It's
a lot
so
easier.
clunky.
I
So
don't even
clunky.
consider this a good banner to go for, like a +10 Xander if you're about that, just because you're going to be potentially getting Eitri on it, and obviously, like, you ideally
Fire
don't have
overlap.
2 legendaries for every season. So,
Yeah,
like,
literally having the same
Wait.
legendary twice. I mean, yeah,
That's
if
actually
you're,
that detrimental to you? Wow, I'm surprised.
it's
I mean-
not great to go for, because most often, like, it's not going to be that helpful, versus, like, probably his next share, which I think will be in, September?
2 legendaries per season for 3 seasons isn't that big of a deal. That's, I mean, it's the peak scenario. That's what you want. 2 legendaries per season for 3 of them. But
I mean, if I were, for example, a guy with Eitri, I'm like, I want Eitri merges. And while this isn't the most ideal situation, for all you know, you just pulled 5 Xanders and any Eitris. And I've heard of that
Yeah.
happening. So it's
I'd
not
say wait
necessarily the
until
end of the world.
September, since that's when he's most likely going to be rerun, and that's with legendary male Byleth, and that's a pretty good share already, I'd say.
Yeah, it's definitely
if
a
you're
little better.
only looking to +10 a legendary per season as opposed to 2, then I'd probably agree. That's a pretty solid place to start. Though I do also believe Eitri transcends legendary merging being the important factor to a certain degree, since it's Eitri.
All right. Okay. So what color are we on now? Oh, red. Okay. Sigurd is
It's
great.
fine, but
Reginn's pretty good. Leif is existing, I guess.
Distant
Yes,
counter
I
time
mean, he's-
pulse.
You know, I guess. Great fodder.
Yeah, he does have good fodder at least. Reginn, I will never complain about Reginn merges, and Sigurd, I don't have to say anything.
Yes.
Red is looking solid unless, I mean, Leaf is a bad unit, but he's good fodder, so if you don't mind that, then
Yeah,
you can go for it.
it's okay.
All right. But what about Colorless? Because that's where I
Objectively, the
drop
be-
the question
fantastic
mark.
except for Leaf.
Objectively,
Colorless
the best
is-
color because it has August, obviously.
Oh my
And
god.
Niime.
I mean,
haven't
August
even
is
seen
great.
August
I know, it's because nobody uses him. There are plenty of units this happens to who have a perfectly fine niche, and people just don't use them, and so people assume they're bad. Or like,
Blame it
they're-
on bad timing for the banner, the fact that Marita was a better spark candidate for most people, and weird.
If you recall, I reserved my judgment. I didn't say he was going to be bad or something, but I was like,
No, I know, but
it really
still.
depends on people's if they're going to use him. And since then, I've never seen him, so I'm like, I
It's
still
really
reserve judgment because
annoying.
I don't have no idea what's going on anymore.
He's quite good. He's just
I would.
never used.
Yeah, I would go for this banner, except I'd somehow get pity broken by Julian, even though he isn't available.
But August ambiguities aside, and the fact, which funnily he's paired with Leaf, go figure. Niime is good fodder, and I appreciate.
He's queen.
I appreciate that the unit's in the game.
Very nice fodder.
No, fodder, follow Mail Morgan instead. He has better fodder.
I don't understand what you see in Niime at all.
She's
So, let me
fantastic.
tell, what
Well,
is
Niime
Morgan's
is cool.
fodder superiority? Having a B slot?
Yeah. Not like you
Why-
can inherit her
I don't even
colorless
know
tome.
why.
Why do you need
Or
sabotage
just take-
defense?
You
You don't
take
need
the
it.
A and C slot no matter which of them you take anyways.
Follow Mail Morgan's ugly, unlike me.
Oh my god.
Niime
This-
is cool. It's just unfortunately she does not have a good leash.
You know, most people argue they'd rather Morgan's going to be more pretty than Niime, mostly because Niime is literally like 70 years old.
Niime is cool though.
Yeah, Nime's
Yeah, it's
amazing.
fine, but that's why I don't like the beauty argument. That
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Evan,
just
Evan
try to
calls
run with-
anyone he likes, like a queen or beautiful or whatever, when they're just, even if they look ugly, is all sin. So that's just an Evan thing.
yeah, there you go. All right,
And then
Anyway.
Leif is good.
Leif is good.
Still good.
So
Evan, are you going to talk about your Queen Solon at some point?
Solon?
Yeah, Queen Solon,
Ew.
right? No, he's not. He's prettier than Niime, right? Right?
I don't know who you're thinking of, but definitely not Solon.
Ah, okay.
Maybe Saul, not Solon.
Uh huh.
all right, well, I just want to hear who are you going to pull? Which of you guys are going to pull?
I'm gonna go for colorless to try and get Niime.
I might pull a little bit. I might do like one circle and then dip. I don't think I'm going to fully invest
Nope.
in the banner.
Yeah, I can't.
Sorry, Claude.
I also have to save for Asker and Embla for whenever they come out.
I want to save for Brave mainly because, like, I'm not like absolutely thrilled about any of the Brave units, although I like pretty much all of them. But I know that the Brave banner is one that I always end up wanting to pull on. So
I don't even know. I probably don't have ores for this. I would like to go for this. There's a bunch of colors that are really good.
Literally,
For
I...
me.
Yeah, for you. I do kind of wish I could pull this a little bit. I want August. I want Eitri or Xander. Ishtar would be cool. But I am stuck at +2, Claude. I'd like to finish that. So...
yeah, I have to hold off.
Wait.
My Claude is at I think +4 now.
Are you serious? You're
I've
trying
had
to
really
finish him
bad
off
luck.
at just +2? Good
I'm
luck.
at least trying to get somewhere with this. I've been having really bad luck.
I didn't get a single Claude, and I sparked.
I
meant-
literally... the last
I-
3...